Hi, this is Dr. Anthony Leong coming to you live from Ryde Chiropractic. I thought I would tackle the topic of tennis elbow today because it is an injury which is fairly common in the martial art that I do, which is kendo, but it is also very common for people who type a lot, use tools, or have tools with vibration in them. And so a lot of people think that chiropractors only deal with back issues or neck issues. And whilst we deal with a lot of those, we deal with pretty much any joint in the body, including the jaw, your big toe, and many, many, many other joints. So let's tackle the topic of tennis elbow, and I hope this is useful for you. If you have any questions as we go, feel free to type them in the comments or PM me. Okay, so let's get started. Now, what is tennis elbow firstly? Well, tennis elbow is an injury of the tendons which come into this bone here. It's the lateral epicondyle in the elbow, and the muscles which attach to that bone have the action of extending your wrist like this. So any action where you do this a lot and repetitively and putting a strain through here can cause tennis elbow. So what are some of the ways that you can deal with that? Well, if you get the injury, first and most important thing to do is to rest. So whatever activity that you're doing that is causing it, do it less or stop it completely if you can. Now, for a lot of you, that will be difficult because you need to type for your work, or you're just not going to stop training as much if you're a fanatic like me about my martial art. So what can you do about it other than just rest? Well, ice is really important as well. So get an ice pack, put it on the area after training or after your work or even during, and put it on for, say, 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off, and put it back on for 15 minutes, and off for 15 minutes. You can repeat and recycle that for a couple of hours, and that will help decrease the inflammation that you have in your elbow. Another way you can use ice is to massage this area here with ice. So you can get a piece of ice, hold it in a towel so you don't put your fingers, and rub it on this bony point itself, but also just a little bit further away where the tendons are, and help decrease the inflammation that way. And you can rub that for about up to 5 minutes, and that can help as well. Another thing you can do is to get a brace. So it's essentially an elastic brace or a Velcro brace which goes around the forearm, and that way you can actually continue to do some of the activities that are putting strain on it, because it distributes the forces elsewhere instead of just on the point of your elbow, the lateral epicondyle there. So I'm sure you can get them in sports stores or chemist places like that, or online, of course, as well. Another really good way to deal with tennis elbow is cross friction. So now I'm not giving you the finger. You use a couple of fingers and you put it on the bony point, and just beyond it on the tendon, rub across like this. And after you've done that for about 30 seconds on that point, you can move on to another point around that area and another point. Okay, and what you're essentially doing is helping the scar tissue to not form so haphazardly. So when you get a scar, the scar tissue forms in all different directions, but we really want the scar to align in one direction, i.e. along the line of the muscle fibers themselves as well. So this is a really good way to break up the scar tissue so it all aligns in one direction. And when you're doing this, make sure that the pain is either the same or slowly going away. What you don't want is for the pain to be getting worse. If it is getting worse, you're not ready for this yet, go back to ice and rest, and maybe revisit that in a few days. Or of course, see someone like myself, a chiropractor, about it, and we can help to dig in deeper. So yes, cross friction is a really good way to deal with that. And you can do that for about up to 5 minutes each time. You can even do it every day, and that can help that heal a lot better. Another way of dealing with tennis elbow is to actually strip or massage the muscles in your forearm. And you can do that really easily by you can use your thumb, essentially, I'll show you here, stripping down the muscles in your forearm this way. You can also go across the muscles if you like, where you essentially grab hold of the muscle bellies. You can roll across the muscle bellies this way and help loosen them out. Okay. Again, you can do that daily, help relax the muscles in your forearm that way. Okay, so once you've actually got the pain under control, what you want to do is to rehabilitate the area as well. And to do that, some of the best ways to deal with any kind of tendonitis is eccentric contractions of the muscle. And what I mean by that is essentially you're actually strengthening the muscle by, instead of doing what the muscle does, these muscles here extend the wrist. What you want to do is slowly flex the wrist under load to strengthen this area up. So to do that, you can use like TheraBands or less elastic bands, or you could use dumbbells and weights. But if you don't have any of those, all you need is a plastic bag with a couple of tins of beans in them, and you can do this really easily. So you just be holding the bag, have your wrist in this position, and have something, of course, underneath here to help rest your arm, and have your wrist slowly drop down like that. And then you push it up, help push it up again, and slowly drop that down under control. And that way you're strengthening the muscle this way through this kind of movement, which shows in research, it's been shown in research to help the area heal better than strengthening it this way. Okay, so I hope those tips have been helpful. And I know this is a pretty typical injury for people like me who do kendo or to do other sports, and people who type a lot. So if you have any questions, as I said, feel free to ask in the comments or PM me. And another common problem that I hear about a lot about is Achilles tendonitis. I will leave a link to that in the comments below as well. So people who want to know how to deal with Achilles tendonitis, please click onto that and you'll see another video on that. Otherwise, this is Dr. Leon from Ryde Chiropractic, and I hope this has been useful for you. Take care.